Go Beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KritzKast. We are into the next stage of the playoffs. This is, of course, the European Platinum Division of Highlander in UGC. We have a pretty intense game on the table for us tonight, as we have the second and the third seeds meeting in the upper bracket semi-final. The winner of this goes through to the upper bracket final and is pretty much guaranteed at least third place. And of course, these two teams have been around for a while. They were here last season as well. On one side, we have Wheelchair, who did pretty decently last season, and many of their faces you will recognize from the TF2 scene, playing for the team Open Squad, while up against them is Gimme Opponent, a team we've seen so many times in UGC, reaching the latter stages repeatedly, and I believe we casted them last week as well. They are the third seed, and they have a lot of faces that you'll probably reckon from the TF2 team Envision. So we have plenty of Premiership and Platinum experience here. They'll be going head-to-head to try and meet either Failer Esports or Kitty in the final. That is the other semi-final happening today. We've got 3 maps. This is a best of 3, so potentially we could go the full 3 maps, or we could just see 2. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm CeeJaey. I'm joined by Wiethoofd on the camera and production, with Buck being my co-caster. Buck, you hyped, man?
Yes, as per usual, hyped again. More Highlander action in the UGC League this time. It's going to be good to see these teams going up against each other. I reckon this one was going to be quite a close game, or like closer than I think it would be possibly against Failer. Because I mean, Failer in UGC I feel have been very strong, and I think the Failer game just in general will be a very close one. But today on this upward staple map, and Gully Wash will be the second map, so some going from payload to 5 CP, a bit of a different change of pace. So I'm not actually aware of whose picks the maps are, so we'll have to see how that unfolds. But hopefully it won't go to a Borneo, even if it is best of 1, because that map can be very long-winded.
Yeah, Borneo is one of the longer maps in the map pool, so I'm not sure how, like you said, who picked what. It's worth noting, though, that these two teams did face each other in the first week of the season, and Gimme Opponent did lose that, and it was on Upward. So that would lead me to believe somewhat that maybe it was in fact Wheelchair that picked this map, seeing as they've got history against Gimme Opponent on it. If you beat a team in the regular season on a map, you're going to feel confident to pick it against them in the playoffs. But a lot has happened since then. I mean, they have quite different record. When you take a look at Wheelchair, they only lost 1 game all season. That was to Failer Esports in week 2. They lost 4-3 on product. So just 1 round in it when it came to that game. So very, very tight between the top 2 teams, top 2 seeds at the end of the season. They didn't lose another round until the final week of the season on Cascade. So a pretty stellar record coming in from Wheelchair. However, Gimme Opponent, they lost 3 games. Lost to Failer, they lost to Wheelchair, and they also lost to the Rabbits in week 3. So again, we've said this multiple times, though, Gimme Opponent are one of those teams that seem to just kind of bumble on through the regular season, and then when it gets to playoffs, they hit it hard. They've played in the finals a couple of times. I think the last 2 times actually they've been in the grand finals, I want to say. So they have that experience. They are, here you go, EU Plat, second place, season 23 and season 24. So they're the runners up the past 2 seasons. So you could come into this and say these guys have actually got the pedigree. These guys have got the experience to be the second seed. You take a look at the bracket. Wiethoofd has that ability to bring that up on screen for you. All of the top seeded teams, the top 4 top seed teams, did win their games without dropping a map. As you can see at the top there, Failer Esports are coming up against Kitty tonight. And we've got Wheelchair versus Gimme Opponent, second and third seed. Based on kind of everything that we know about these 2 teams, Buck, I mean, we know that they have ETF12 teams that are maybe, their lineups, they're more of their main lineups. This is more of a mixed team. But playoffs, people do start to turn on the try-hard mode and get all of their big names in. Who do you think comes into this as the favourites?
I mean, the thing you're forgetting, CeeJaey, is all about the medals, isn't it? So, they're going to be going all for that try-hard mode. But, yeah, coming back to your question, I mean, personally, for me, like seeing the way like the players from both of these teams have been playing recently, and like considering, I think this probably is Wheelchair's pick. I know for this map, I'm definitely going to favour Wheelchair to win this. For Gully Wash, though, I'm not sure. It might end up being a bit close on Gully Wash, because Gully Wash is always one of those maps where it's like, you know, you get weird sort of back caps going on, and it's a lot harder to try and control the flank than it is on like a payload linear map. So all it takes is one key play, and like it turns it around. And at this level, like that's bound to happen at one point or another. So, I mean, I'll say to predict as the first map, I'll just say Wheelchair. But for the second map, I'll have to see how the teams perform in upwards, and to see how the morale goes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're very different maps. I mean, you know, Highlander does have that range of being able to have King of the Hill, 5CP, attack, defense, payload. Like there's very different things. So going from upwards to Gully is going to be a very big stretch. Obviously, whoever picked that map is feeling comfortable on it. I'm going to assume it is in fact Gimme opponent who picked Gully Wash based on, you know, like I said, the fact that Wheelchair won upward in their regular season game. There's a lot of things to kind of take into account as well. The fact that in UGC playoffs we only play to one half, so it is only going to be a best of one on upward and first to 4 rounds on Gully Wash. So, you know, if you can really hit your opponent hard early on, you know, get a quick round and really kind of, you know, before they've warmed up, you know, because we are starting at the slightly earlier time of 20 CST. We're not playing, you know, I'm not sure that either of these teams have actually had a warm up before this game. So
True.
If you come out of the blocks quite hard, I mean, you can take a map win straight away because it's just the one round. And, you know, Gimme opponent, I think, come into this as probably the slight underdogs based on the fact that, you know, Open Squad are you know, doing okay. I think they beat them actually in... I'm talking about Open Squad here, Buck. Open Squad actually played in Vision last night in ETF2. So they beat them on Badwater, yeah. So... these two teams, you know, not exact lineups, but these two groups of players have played against each other last night. We're having slightly modified lineups for Wheelchair versus Gimme opponent, but, you know, maybe there'll be a little bit of kind of revenge and maybe, you know, just thinking, oh, we can edge it out in UGC. Losing's not the end of the world. There is the lower bracket, but we'll have to see. I mean, looking at the players we've got on the server right now, I don't think we've got the ability to talk about full lineups yet. Who do you think is going to be? I'm going to go try and go over a lineup here. Actually, I'm not. Look at the server, Buck. We're not going to do lineups until they pick their classes because, you know, it's difficult. Who's going to be the big name players? Who is going to be one pick from either team? Who's going to stand out for you?
Well, if I was to say the two big players, I'd probably just go with I'd say Mezzo, because I mean, obviously, well, ETF2, he was voted best spy and best player. So, I mean, you know, clear reason to try and favour him. He does it very well for both Open Squad and for Wheelchair, so I think he'll make big plays. And for Gimme opponent, I think D-Toad, he's a generally strong player. Like, I've seen him play several classes quite well, and he does really well on demo. So, if he does, I think he's going to be playing demo. So, if he plays that class, I think he can put out quite a lot of damage for his team, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
I wouldn't put it against him to be playing Sniper. Played a pug last night against him on Sniper, and he kept headshotting me as I was jumping through the air. But he also in sixes for Ukraine, actually, in the Nations Cup going on in ETF2 at the moment. He actually plays demo for them on, you know, most maps on 5CP maps. When they switched over to Product, he off classes to Sniper. So that's the first and only time I've seen a demo off class to Sniper. And apparently he does it on Process as well. They have Ehor, who goes from Soldier to Demo, and he picks up the Sniper. So, you know, this man, you never know what class he's going to play. He is very good. I've played Premiership officials against him when he's been a Spy, he's been a Pyro, he's been an NG, and he's been a Demo. And he's also very good at Heavy and Sniper as well. So, you know, you can kind of just pick it out of the air what class he's going to play.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades, exactly. But I agree with what you're saying there. You know, some players, you know, like Mezzo is probably going to be a big influence for Wheelchair. Just to confirm, actually, that they did in fact pick the two payload maps. So because they were the higher seed, I assume, because they're the second seed as opposed to Gimme opponent, who were the third, they picked upward, and then it was Gimme opponent who picked Gully Wash, and the decider being Borneo. So coming into this, Wheelchair are going to be probably confident that they can take some points here. I'm gonna try. No, I know people are still on the wrong teams, Buck. I'm not. I don't want to jump in yet. Because I'm gonna say something like, "Oh yeah, D2's playing demo," and then he's gonna be like, medic or something. I'm just gonna get baited, and the Twitch chat will laugh at me, and it's, it's just not good. It's not good. But people are switching teams. We're just waiting. Do you think this is gonna go all the way? Do you think it's gonna be 3 maps?
Part of me hopes it does, just because of the best of one thing. Like, it's kind of rare for playoffs to be best of one. Like, I'm not like as aware myself of the kind of best of one format recently for UGC, but like, I think when it comes to playoffs, most teams usually expect like a best of 3 payload. So if people haven't got their head in the game and like fully aware of the situations and like how important it is just for this one game to matter, like by the time it happens and like a certain team loses, it's going to be all over for them on that one map, and like their chances are going out the window. So there needs to be sort of just on top of everything, really. And when it comes to Gully Wash, like I imagine it'll probably go to the full half an hour. So that's my prediction.
That's what we want. Plenty of action, as long as it's not stalemates or pauses. we just want the action. We want the frags. As people are kind of separating themselves, I'm going to take a bash at it now. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna take a look at the Gimme opponent roster, and see who is playing. I'm just getting some messages from people, and so we might have a couple of mercs here. So I'm really kind of putting myself out here, Buck. Okay, I'm taking the lesser known team. You've got the easy team. You know their lineup. I'm look. Okay, so on scout for Gimme opponent is going to be. Little Jessica. No, it's not. It's going to be Wild Piggy. Wild Piggy's going to be scout. On soldier, we're going to have. Oh, jeez, I don't even know. Okay, I'm going to start from the bottom. This is going to be easier. So we're going to have Elazil on spy. Elazil, who he's played for Budget Tokens in Prem in the past. Used to be on Strong Opinions as well. We're going to have on medic Nidstang, the Dutch medic, I believe. Pretty experienced. We're gonna have Sis on Pyro. I believe it's gonna be Stinghan, the manager, gonna be playing Sniper. D-Toad, I imagine, is gonna be on demo, which would put Tercio on medic. Tuja, former Premiership debut of the season.
Isn't this on medic?
That's true. So no, yeah.
Mind blown.
Right. So Nidstang is gonna be on medic. Lil Jessica on Pyro on NG. Okay, Piggy's going to be scout.
Yeah.
So that means Tercio is either going to play demo or heavy. Tuja's either going to play soldier or heavy. Oh wait, they're going to ready up now. They still got 2 heavies. They're not giving. Okay, here we go. So the lineup for Gimme opponent in this upper bracket semi-final of the UGC European Platinum Highlander playoffs. Stinghan on Scout, Tuja on Soldier, Sis on Pyro, Tercio on Demo, Wild Piggy on Heavy, Little Jessica on Engineer, Nidstang on Medic, D-Toad is actually going to be sniping, and Elazul on Sniper. They'll be on the red team defending first. Buck, who's going to be playing for Wheelchair?
Alright, on Wheelchair we have Spans, we're playing Scout, Newbie, we're playing Soldier, we've got Strono, the Reflect Master on Pyro, we have Murphy himself on Demo, with Snuggles on Heavy. I think that's Justice though, I'm going to say, because as far as I know. On NG we'll have Clark, obviously renowned engineer Clark of the season I should say. We've got Sprayer on Medic, and then Piney on Sniper with obviously Mezzo on Spy.
So there we go, we do have our lineups now. There was we're just keeping you guys on the edge. Wanted to see, if you guys could, keep it guessing. But we got Wheelchair in the blow. They'll be attacking first, and Gimme opponent will be in the red defending, and then they'll try to beat the time set by Wheelchair. This is only a best of 1. UGC playoffs on payload. I play to a best of 1. This could be all over quickly. See the suicides come in. Nubby, huge jump, takes down D-Toad, Sniper down. So a lot of frags coming in. Tuka also got taken out there, but a Sniper and a Soldier frag could be pretty big potential here. But in return, Pineapple also went down. Piney died on the attack, so he's going to be up, but they are going to have D-Toad ready to defend there. And Kind of a successful suicide there, Buck, but not really able to... actually, they're out with the Uber.
Oh, this is pretty hasty though. Demo gets the Uber taken here. The Uber comes out in return from the defense. Newbie is on this top area though, going to try and get contested and try and shoot the sentry as much as he can. And does manage to pick up the engineer actually during that, so they manage to be careful with the sentry going down soon.
Yeah, no engineer means that sentry can't be healed, so it's going to be Sis's job to kind of protect it from spam, but it's going to be very difficult as they are pushed really far back here. Tosi has also gone down. Dito gets backstabbed, so 3 players that are huge in that defensive aspect are taken down. As Sis gets headshot by Piney on the retreat, so Sentry does go down. Little Jessica's going to build another one on second, but Mezzo is lurking behind. He uncloaks. He's going to go for the NG, or is he going to go for the medic? The heavy's not looking. He's going to get a buff. He gets a buff and the assist while Piggy is down, and Wheelchair starting to take the high ground here. Ditoad's not in position to deny that, as he did die. Tuja maybe go for a play here on the flank, but he gets taken out, and this is looking pretty good at the moment for Wheelchair.
Yeah, the important thing here though is that Timson managed to actually get out. If I ever see Timson below him, he's dead standing, so that's what you think now. Oh, I'll say that though, but the demo comes in, Murphy with the Uber, managed to pick him off, and Mezzo getting some pick onto Tertio in the backline, so they're going to be stuck in this sort of spawn area right now. There's 3 up right now for the defense, which is not looking very good.
No, they actually aren't going to spawn back either. So there's a few players who are going to spawn in the forward spawn. It's going to be very difficult for them to get anything done because they have to wait for this spawn to kind of cancel itself. And back spawn is Piney getting a couple of frags, takes down the Pyro and the Engineer. So that is a 20-second respawn on Lil Jessica. That's going to mean that level 1 sentry is pretty much left alone. Not much going on Elizor with some counter espionage. There's a backstab onto Mezzo there. But about 20% Uber advantage for Sprayer. And, you know, they have to be careful here, Gimme opponent. If they get too aggressive, they could just get Ubered on. But they are catching up here, and they're getting some frags, Buck, so kind of stabilizing a little bit. Nice headshot from Dito.
Wow, Dito going pretty big right now. The important thing there was the fact that Mezzo didn't manage to get Dito, but he stayed alive to defend it. But as I say that, Pine sitting on the tracks behind the cart does manage to pick him off eventually, so he's going to have some free range to sort of walk up. There's Mezzo trying to push the cart alone. Elizal's coming onto the cart, but oh, he just managed to get Pine as well, so no sniper previously.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Get the sniper out of the equation, gives your sniper a lot more room. As Ubers are exchanged on third here. Launched into the air is Sprayer. He's going to be lucky. He hits the ceiling there, hits the skybox, and then hits the kind of roof as he tries to come down. Picky was not able to get the cleanup, unfortunately for him. He's very big, running his fists of steel, trying to get out, and actually survives. Tercy goes down. No demo spam. The conch has to be huge here, but no, Dito's also down. There's a lot of defensive capabilities out too. He's going to go for the cart, trying to clean it up. Does get some decent damage, but he's got no support.
Yep. And he managed to get the med though, I think.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, just about managed to clip the rocket over the top of the cliff area, managed to get the med, so they need to like not feed right now. They're 4 down the defense, so I'd probably just like wanted to see them go back here because this cart is looking like it's going to go in. As Timtum does actually have quite a big advantage for this defense.
Yeah, it's 85%, so you know, looking pretty decent, but no demo, no heavy. It's kind of sketchy to hold this top ground. You've just got a Pyro, very easy to get forced, and you don't really want to get forced here. Spans is lurking underneath, does manage to take down Dito, so not that long respawn for the sniper. You know, you feel maybe a little bit more buffs on him, a little bit more protection from other players, and after some of the shots Dito's been hitting, he could do a lot of work. As Wheelchair trying to poke here through main, Murphy jumps in against the pipe! And the medic is down, that's a drop. And he also takes down the Pyro, he's in behind, he's just throwing damage everywhere. Finally goes down, but another drop here, Buck, and it's a huge one. And that should be Wheelchair's opportunity to seal this round off.
Yeah, this is the downside really when you've got people in upper and like not everyone's there, part of your combo. It's just like, it's kind of hard to contest, like prevent the forces of the drops and that sort of thing. But Strong is trying to make some space right now with his mid, walking up here as TJ goes down, so no soldier to defend this top area as Newbie's trying to spam this bulk as Freya almost has Uber.
Yeah, 90%, and you see the sniper up there, Piney, gets the health back to get a bit of HP, gets a nice headshot onto Dito, so he's just opening the doors here. While Piggy drops down, actually the Uber is used, and he's being chased by Murphy. He's not deciding to lock down the spawns. A big buff there from Sis is going to push away. While Piggy does eventually go down, but he took so much of the attention of that Uber that Tuka's actually picked up a couple of frags here. Only 4 left alive for Gimme opponent. Oh, nice reflect from Sis! Slams Nubby into the ground, but he survived on like a slither of HP there. And he's just pushing people away. He's like, no, this is my high ground. You're not allowed it. but that cart's being pushed by Strano, and someone needs to get on there because he's just denying all of this damage. Nistang actually has the Uber now, or sorry, TimTom has the Uber, but they're losing players here, Buck, and they need to use it and get some frags.
Oh, they should block this car with Uber now. They need to get on it. The engineers just pushing it. They're going to get it. Oh, they get it at the end. Well, they didn't manage to block it with the sticks because I think Sersha was still reloading, so a bit unlucky there. But very quick push overall, though. I'd say just under 6 minutes. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, 5:55. That's definitely on the faster time. I mean, if you hit around the 6-minute mark, then you're thinking that's a good time. We usually see slightly longer times, but who knows? You could see an even faster time coming back. We've seen some crazy games lately on payload maps, Upward, Badwater. Teams kind of, they roll over the first round, get a little bit overconfident, play a little bit too loose on defense, and then get pushed back there. But I mean, what was working out well for Wheelchair there? What was the difference? What was making them kind of just roll over point to point?
And they kind of regrouped a bit better and kind of managed their damage better as well, because with Gimme opponent, I noticed they were just all kind of taking damage at the wrong points and peaking one by one. So Murphy was just punishing them so hard all the time. So it's good to see from him. They managed it pretty well.
Okay, we see some interesting shenanigans going on here. We have Piney on the defense on Sniper, remember. He's running the Huntsman. And looking on the offense, which is always interesting to see what the medic decides to use. TimTom on KritzKast. So there is a KritzKast in play. We'll have to see if this is known about, whether Mezzo's been checking, or whether this could be a surprise. Sis goes down. He's the first casualty of this attacking phase for his team. Mezzo kind of not really looking at the medic, maybe aware that the Kritz actually does come in.
Oh,
Nistang, he goes down to the arrow. Mezzo with the 2k backstab, but that Kritz comes to nothing. Mezzo is the only casualty there. He's in so deep. To counter a Kritz, you just need one arrow to the chest apparently, and then you're dead. An arrow to the knee, not needed. Just slam it wherever in the body. Does enough damage, and maybe that's the win condition slightly taken away from Gimme opponent. I mean, they did get the force though. Sprayer has used, so who knows? There's no Uber to deal with right now.
Oh, this is a very aggro sentry from Clark though. He's been pretty brave trying to manage his sentry here as Newbie's just spamming with the black box in the side area, making it a bit of a nightmare for them as Span's pushing him back as well. But yeah, Piney with the Huntsman, I actually can't believe he got that, but yeah, managed to just able to spam a bit more with the Huntsman from a bit faster cover.
Yeah, we do see kind of a conch being popped there, and if you take a look at the Uber situation, Medigun on both sides now. There's only about 10% between the two. So yeah, we do see the defensive conch coming in from Nubby. Manages to get some decent damage down. That's 3 down, make that 4 down for Gimme opponent right now. They need to group up here. If they have this, if they get forced, that's pretty much game over, because it's going to be very, very difficult for them to break down this hold without any Uber. Someone needs to go for a play on Sprayer, I feel. Yeah, there's no pressure on him right now. Someone needs to get some picks onto someone important, because at the moment it's just kind of standing there and trading spam.
Yeah, they need to actually try and go forward here. This is a bit of a far back Uber, and they dropped 1 or 2 people, I think, at this. And the Uber's just going to come out. They do get kind of knocked up as Strona's trying to do his best to prevent damage onto the sentry, but they haven't really made much space here, and there's still a lot of people alive on the defense.
Yeah, a couple of players going down here. See little Jessica running that Widowmaker gets a frag, but another arrow kill for Piney, takes down the medic again. And 3.5 minutes to go. I mean, I don't know how physically time-wise it is possible, but when you consider they've got a 50% Uber disad and they're still on first point, it's so much kind of stacking against them here. Mezzo's just cloaked behind, just waiting and going for, he gets taken out there, as does Pineapple. So, no sniper, no spy to worry about. They can try and just go balls deep here and say, just go in, let's try get some damage, get some frags. They do take down Strono, so no Pyro in the play, and maybe this is a chance to capture the point here.
Yeah, Dito needs to take advantage of the fact that they've got Sniper out here and just try and get some picks, possibly onto Clark and body shot Murphy or something. But they're pushing very hard on his flank, and yeah, they're going to be almost over weight from
yeah, Murphy just with the pipes, just spamming down and gets a ton of damage. Med went down as well, so it's just really unfortunate. If you're not getting any charges off so far, they've had that KritzKast, and it's not worked out well. Ezreal gets another arrow to the face this time around. And yeah, with about 2.5 minutes to go, I'm going to call it as a GG here, because Sprayer still has 100%, and it's going to be a while before Gimme opponent get a charge, and that's pretty much as comfortable as it gets, as Mezzo gets a 2k medic and Heavy both going down, and 3 up. You know, there's actually only 140 on the round timer, so there's actually even less time in play for Gimme opponent here, so that's pretty much it, and that's about as dominating as you can see. Buck here, I mean, what happened? What's going on with Gimme opponent?
Honestly, like, they just needed to go for plays onto the meds, and like they need to take advantage of like their picks on the top left, because they should have played around Dito and have him spam like they kill Clark first of all, so that they can't wrangle the sentry, and then just spam the sentry and then walk in. But they didn't seem to try and do that at all. And Piney isn't getting sniped either. Like it's a sniper rifle versus a huntsman. Like it should be a clear advantage. But Dito needs to like try and step up a bit.
Yeah, might be able to get the cap here, but as I say that, lots of frags going down. I mean, just for the moral victory, they should try and get the first cap here, just so at least when we go to map 2, they don't have that lingering over the fact that they couldn't cap first. Just about 45 seconds to go here, but I agree. Yeah, I mean, when you're going in for your suicides, when you're going in for these trades, you've got to focus the right players. Focusing a wrangled sentry does nothing, you know. Taking down the flank means nothing unless you take advantage of that space it gives you. You know, there's been no pressure on the sniper, no pressure on the NG, no pressure on the medic. Murphy's been able to just spam as much as he wants. Nubby's been popping off conches left, right and centre. We see finally Dito gets a snipe onto Pineapple, so that should be the opportunity for them to walk forward. And there you go, see, they're starting to get frags, they're starting to get picks. That's what you need to do on payload, is get down a crucial class and then just kind of cascade it into more and more frags. And it does look like they should be able to get the point here. Sis is trying the best. There we go! First point has been capped. 25 seconds to spare, not even close, Buck, not even close.
Yeah, let's go try and edge this into last now, casually, see who comes out. Spawn's gonna be taking the brunt of this, but yeah, 14 seconds. I mean, at least they got first, but yeah, they're probably not gonna feel too happy about what happened. But they need to think. The one thing they need to do now is just think, okay, well that was their map choice, and we picked Gully. We need to just show them what we can do on Gully, and it's a completely different change of pace. Try and outflank them rather than like fight everyone at once. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the second map goes. You just got to flush that out of your head. Say that was map 1. There's nothing you can do about map 1 now. There's nothing we can learn from it because we're not going to be playing that map again. Let's just focus on the next one and do the best we can. And it's our map pick. You know, that's what Gimme opponent need to think. But definitely, Wheelchair are definitely going to be in the ascendancy here. They're going to be feeling pretty confident heading into the second map. You know, that was as comfortable as a win on Upwards you can pretty much get. You know, capping in under 6 minutes and then, you know, holding on first essentially. I mean, they did cap, but they pretty much held them at first there for the entire attacking phase that Gimme opponent had. You're gonna take a look at the logs in a minute, but before we do, Buck, I mean, is it just the teamwork, or is it like, is there any individual that needs to step up for Gimme opponent here?
I think it's a bit of both, honestly. Also, like, I don't really feel their Ubers were that effective. Because, like, even if you do go for force plays and that sort of thing, which, like, I don't think they really managed to touch Sprayer that much, but I feel like just the kind of whole cohesion is way better from Wheelchair than it is from Gimme opponent right now. And just a mix of kind of cohesion and people doing sort of the right plays at the right time, which will definitely come in handy on Gully Wash, like you're trying to go for flank plays on mid or trying to go for back caps and that sort of thing. They need to just try and distract Wheelchair as much as they can and just go off the plays as well, because at some points they did have picks, honestly. They just didn't really play off them or try and hold W enough, I feel. So they just need to try and work on that, I think. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. You talked about the picks, and it kind of stands out there when you take a look at the deaths for some of the players there. Clark only died twice. I mean, as an engineer on payload, your job is to push the cart, which means he wasn't being denied in pushing the cart when he was on blue. And when he was on red, you know, his job is to sit there with the level 3 and just deny that space around the back. And if he's only dying twice in, 10, 15 minutes of a game, that means there just wasn't pressure on those areas at all. So there was no pressure on the cart while they were pushing, and there was no pressure on him as an NG when he was trying to, turtle it up at the back there. So, really need to just focus on which classes are important on payload and clean those up, and then you can take advantage of that. Because if you get rid of a sniper, you get rid of an NG, you get rid of a medic, then that enables the rest of your team to have a lot more space, a lot more freedom to try and win their respective fights. Top fragging was Murphy, gets 21 kills, 7 deaths, just over 700 DPM there. So pretty much just, again, just uncontested on that first point. It was just piling out the damage. And yeah, you called it out on that last point when he went in and got the drop onto the med. Like, he was alone up there with a pyro. Murphy jumps up. It's just not a good enough hold for you to defend yourself against a threat of that magnitude. So pretty much one-sided when it comes to the logs. Detoed and Tuya getting some decent kills there, but it's not much really you can say from logs when it comes down to a role like this.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him, Tuja, actually, because he seems to do like a decent amount of damage. Like, he actually out-damaged Tertio, so I don't know whether Tertio's kind of putting on a poor performance, because like, you should still like be able to put out some damage, and like, even if he had 12 deaths as well, like, same amount of Tuja, like, I would expect slightly more, possibly. I know it's probably arguably easy to stay alive as a soldier, like, if you're jumping around the place, but it's still quite a good performance from him. But I was going to point out as well the fact that Pine actually got more damage on the bow than he did on the sniper rifle. He just got less frags. So I don't know whether like Gimme opponent needs to work on trying to avoid arrows, but yeah, he shouldn't have got away with that as much as he did either.
Yeah, basically a lot of players just not getting punished for what they're doing. You as a medic, it's so nice to be able to know that your engineer is alive all the time, just protecting you with that level 3. Sprayer wasn't really pressured much when he had Uber on defense. He was holding it for quite a long time. So yeah, very one-sided there, looking at upward. But we are moving on to Gully Wash now. This is map 2. This is Gimme opponent's pick. So we've played Wheelchair's pick. We're now playing Gimme opponents. So you would think that they are much more comfortable, much more excited to play this map. Much more DM-based map. A lot of people call them the Sixes maps because, hey, 5CP is pretty much exclusively played as a game mode. In Sixes, just have the one Koth map, don't you? So you'd expect the Sixes players, if there are any out there, the Sixes-orientated players, to get a little bit more involved here. But what are your thoughts, Buck, on why Gimme opponent chose this map? What do you think is their master plan when it comes to who's playing what?
See, I would have said like something around Dito going demo, but like now that he's playing sniper, he might still switch, I'm not sure, but like I feel if Dito goes demo, they might actually be better off for this. But then it's a matter of like, I don't know. It's weird because like I don't know why they had Piggy on heavy, because I expected it to be Piggy on scout and then Stinghan on sniper, then Detoed on demo or something like that. And
Tertio heavy.
Yeah, well, like Tertio is basically anything else because I think he's played heavy before previously.
Yeah, Tertio's played heavy, played demo. Like he's got that experience. I agree. That's what I thought when I saw Piggy was playing, because I know him as a scout main in Sixes. Yeah. And Tuka is obviously like a heavy main in Highlander. That's what he was known for in the Highlander community. But he does play soldier in Sixes. He does have a lot of experience playing soldier, so he knows what to do there. So, kind of either or there. But yeah, that was my thoughts of the lineup. But I don't know, maybe they just wanted to play different classes. Maybe because they've got a few mercs, they feel that they don't really want to, play with that lineup. Who knows? Maybe they'll switch it up for this game. We'll have to see. But based on what we've seen on Upward, everything we know about these two teams coming into Gully Wash, what do you think is like the frame of mind of each team, and who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, I think at the moment, Wheelchair are probably going to be kind of pretty good in the comms, and they're going to be kind of just joking around a bit, and they'll want to try keep playing around their combo as much as possible. Like Sprayer does a good job of keeping them alive a lot of the time, and Piney is like pretty much just going off constantly. So, like, what Gimme opponent needs to do is just try and work on denying the sniper and getting Sprayer more. Like, whether it needs like flank players to come in from like Elazul hasn't had much luck really with the stabs. Like, whether that's partly because there's not been much pressure for him to actually go off. And again, like, whoever's playing soldier this time, for Gimme opponent. We'll also need to try and bomb in more, I think, because Strono is just like not pressured that much either and is able to just spam across the map rather than try and reflect things close to him. So yeah, it's just sort of general coordination for the players.
So we do actually have a pause in the game. So the game has actually gone about to go live. So obviously STV is 90 seconds in the past. So what we're saying has already happened 90 seconds in the future. So there is a pause at some point in the future. We're not sure what caused it, but we assume the game is about to go live soon. And yeah, we're no closer to working out who's going to be playing what class for Gimme opponent. I have to say though, Gimme opponent's resolve in UGC has been something to admire. You know, they have reached the final of the past 2 seasons. They have, you know, battled their way through, even when they lose games in the regular season, in the playoffs, they kind of fight their way through and they do scrap. And maybe the fact that they've got a few mercs here is kind of, I don't know, dipping their confidence a little bit. Maybe they're just thinking, oh, you know, we're coming up against a tough team and it's not going to be, you know, a very fair game as we're struggling with some mercs. But we'll have to see what goes on as we are readied up now. So we're going to be having, it's going to be Wheelchair in the blue and a Gimme opponent in the red. This is the second map of the UGC upper bracket semi-final of the European Platinum Highlander division. If Gimme opponent win, we'll be moving on to a third map. However, if Wheelchair take Gully Wash, then they will be moving to the upper bracket final next week. We see Tercio on the demo very early on, getting some decent spam down. Sentry's going down, and Snuggles actually, the heavy for Wheelchair is dead. Stinghand is now on the sniper. D-Toad is now on the heavy. Piggy on the scout. They've switched it up, Buck, just like you thought, but med down for Gimme opponent.
Yeah, they've switched up a few people, I noticed, but yeah, that mid actually, well, the mid's not even over at the moment. Murphy's still in, apparently, trying to fight Sis. Does get piped, actually, Sis, as D-Toad trying to make his way on the heavy class through this banana area, and they seem to have locked us out, actually. So first mid will actually go the way of Gimme opponent.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they did well there, actually. The fact that they had a good start to the mid, lost their medic, didn't panic. They stayed composed and just kept fighting until they had the victory. So they actually do win the mid fight there. And they are actually, it's going to be equal Ubers here, actually, because of the healing. But we take a look at Mezzo. He's actually in behind the medic, but gets caught out by Sis. He's going to go down, drop down, and try to escape here. So maybe opportunity for our first stalemate of the game. As I mean, I guess technically Upward first was a stalemate. I don't know. Is that counted as a stalemate? To look at the rulebook, wasn't it?
A roll stalemate, is that a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I have to just not moving, you know, rocking a hard place kind of thing. It's just stationary. But we actually see, you take a look at Wheelchair here. They're on the medigun as well, but Spurrier is building so much faster. What was a 10% disad is now a 30% advantage. So they're building much faster, much quicker than their opponents. Stinghand is dead again, as is Elazar, so no pick classes for Gimme opponent. They're going to have to try and work out how to try and get a pick here as they are just moving forward. Murphy's just going to take this Uber in forward and they're going to get the trade here. As they go in, he's just trying to spam some damage around, get them to flash, but they don't flash. Tercio is actually going to get the majority of that Uber and he's going to get some decent damage on the re-push. Tries to peek, but no, he gets absolutely destroyed. A reflect pipe from Strono and it's falling apart a little bit here. They haven't got much defense left.
Yeah, they need to be careful holding this close now, though, because they don't have a demo. Murphy's trying to put in some damage, and Piney's very aggro, just managed to get the shot onto the spy. As just going to be peeking this with the full buff, but they're still quite tentative peeking this, considering how many people they have near the shot, which is quite surprising from Wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't push. I mean, you lose your demo and you lose your energy. That should be an opportunity for your flank to get some pressure down and your combo to get some spam in, but they don't really do anything. Tercio's up again. He's back in that choke. He's just going in. He does not care. And there we go. Stinger getting the pick onto Snuggles. And then he gets this pick onto Piney as well. These are two big players out of the way. No sniper, no heavy. That's a lot of HP and pressure off the battlefield. They've rotated through to Big Door now, giving Stinghand another sightline to try and get some damage down. Tercio and Murphy going head to head here, taking so much damage. And then he gets dropped out of the Uber. But Stinghand takes down Murphy. So both demos dropped out of their respective Ubers. And they're trying to go around here. Sis is actually going to get him behind. Him versus Strono. D-Toad is hiding. And somehow this is working out really well for Gimme opponent. And they're going to probably able to get second point off here, Buck.
See, Gimme opponent did the perfect thing there. They knew that it was going to be even Ubers, and they just take like a good trade, and they played it really slow around big door, waited for the pick classes to come in because they knew they had like a sniper and that sort of thing, and then they just played it. But as I say that, Pine with the big river shot, and he gets Sting Hand as well. He's uncontested. He doesn't care. He's up here, and Murphy can help him as well.
Yeah, we do see old Tertio times out now, so should be back in the game momentarily. Yeah, he has rejoined, but that's a lot of players down, and Spray surviving, I mean, Uber advantage now. They're going to recap second. They've got about 85% advantage over their opponents. Should be able to cap mid off of this. I mean, we do see some Gimme opponent players on mid. Tuka takes down Piney and Murphy. So the two top fraggers from the previous game getting taken out by the Hungarian beast on the flank there. Uber is used. And they are going to pick up a bunch of frags here, Pluck, but question is, can the medic get out and maybe they can survive, maybe do some sort of repush going on here?
Yeah, Strona trying to go for a bit of a med play here. As Mezzo comes in behind, is he going to get him? Oh, he gets him with the big stab. Manages to time that. Mezzo with his perfect timing as always. So, going to be a med advantage right now. But as I say that, Islanders will go for a play onto Sprayer. Trying to revolver him down, but to no avail. As they're going to be trying to push in here. But they have lost 3, so they might slow him down a bit.
It seems when it's chaotic that Gimme opponent are doing much better. They're thriving in the chaos. When it's all going on, they're just kind of getting around, and they're hiding in unexpected places, like D-Toad and Sis are getting into areas that you wouldn't think they would be in. However, when it's played much more slow, Wheelchair are winning this. You know, they're just kind of walking forward, getting some damage down, taking it point to point. So now they have an Uber advantage. You know, all they need is a decent last push. As we see Strano takes down Tercy, so there's going to be no demo on last, no sticks on the point for 15 seconds. They have Uber. If they just push it here, should we get That's so clutch. Takes down Murphy.
Yeah, massive pick from coming out from the Spire there. As the Uber just come out though, no Pyro to deny this either. So, D-Toad is under the point though, with some good positioning, trying to defend this as much as he can. Mezzo comes from behind, picks him up as well. As the Sniper's just going to be able to deny this Stink Hand, just headshotting the heavy. But yeah, massive pick from Elizabeth to deny Murphy there. And I thought, because Tertia was kind of extended there and fed, so I wasn't sure like they'd actually be able to defend that. But they might be able to come out with this. Snuggles! Ooh, almost gets the med. I thought Justice would have got that, but yeah, med stays alive, so 70 or 80% advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an Uber advantage for Gimme opponent. So, Sprayer just spawning now, so a 90% ad, that is huge. Gives them a chance to push out. I mean, notoriously hard to push out of Gully Wash last in Highlander if you play it correctly, but that Uber push was just beefed so hard. You know, Murphy getting picked was huge right at the start there, and they are going to Uber in here. Tercia going to take that Uber, just get forward, trying to get some down, but they're bleeding a couple of players here. Piney does go down, 2-2 on the flank. Nubby is still in, but no, Mezzo gets a pick. Stinghand goes down. This Uber is even worse than the one we just saw on last. They're 3 up now. One of them is Elizal, and it's just D-Toad and Timber trying to get out here through lower. I'm not sure if they're going to get chased. It just looks like that Wheelchair are happy to consolidate the second point, but Uber ad for them now.
Yeah, this is the key thing when pushing back into mid that any team should do. They need intel on like where like their sniper is and just where they are in general, because there's no point popping straight through a choke and just losing Uber when they're really far away. Like, that was just kind of poor play by them. I'm not sure why they decided to do that. So it's going to be 40% advantage right now-ish. Oh, and Piney, just to get the saving grace as well, does manage to pick off Tim Tum. So a full advantage right now with heals coming in through River.
Yeah, it just means that there's going to be no buffs, no heals, as we see Strono, Battle of the Pyros on the point. Who's going to win? Sis is doing the best he can. Actually does a great job of just air blasting him away, but the Uber comes in from behind him, and everyone just gets melted down there. That's going to be the first round on the board, despite Gimme opponent winning the mid-fight and pushing all the way to second. Going to get pushed back here on their map to go 1 round down, and you know, this is kind of crunch time. When you're 1 map down, you're 1 round down in the second map, you're close to elimination. You need to, or at least knocking down to the lower bracket. It's not quite elimination just yet. As we see Tercio in choke getting pressured by the Pyro. I mean, they're taking the opposite side here, Wheelchair. Nubby is going to finish off the demo, and this just might be the opportunity. Look at where the Medic and Sis and D-Tid are. They're going to get sandwiched if they're not careful. Have to be careful and try and get out here. They're picking up a few frags on the flank. Tuha's going to go in for the bomb. Takes 2 rockets. That's all he needs to take down Spray and mid down and Gimme opponent and win in the mid fight.
Wow, just as a carry there, manages to take out the heavy, and no, it takes out the pyro as well. Huge play by him, considering he didn't have a med with him. But they are 2 up right now, and I have no idea how this mid fight is actually going the way of Gimme opponent. But yeah, they managed to take it off in the end. Maybe it's just the mid fight look that Gimme opponent have.
Yeah, they have a really good strat for mid, and after that it's kind of just play,
make it up as you go along.
yeah. I mean, it looked like to be going terrible mid fight. You see Piney just peeking in through a big door there, and he gets the drop onto the medic. Huge. I mean, that huge mid fight win, that uber advantage just lost as see Piney just peeking big door again, like you said, uncontested, getting those crucial kills. Tercio goes down, Wiethoofd goes down. That's pretty much all the defensive capabilities out the window for Gimme opponent. They're going to have to give up mid here and hope they get something done on second, but I don't know. I mean, it's just little picks like that are ruining the momentum from Gimme opponent. What looks to be good, as we do see Ellis will get a frag onto Murphy, but is that going to be enough to stop them on second?
Yeah, like it's kind of unfortunate from Simpson, to be fair. Like, I think if they manage to actually keep him alive and like they lock down the chokes properly to deny Pine, like it's going to be a lot easier for them. Because like Piney will go for those shots. To be fair, like this is quite an extravagant shot, but Stinghand almost getting caught out there, but just managed to sort of back out a bit. But yeah, it's going to be a 50% advantage right now on the side of Wiltshire.
They are holding high ground here, Gimme opponent, and as we know, it can be difficult to push 9v9 unless you've got a pick, even if you have an Uber advantage. We do see the Uber comes in, it's going to be used onto Murphy pretty much solely, but he can't really get much done. Stinghand does go down, but Serena goes down in response, and they're bleeding players actually. They're 3 down after the Uber, make that 4 down, as Wild Piggy kind of just running around on the flank, fragging up. And we do see them lose pretty much everybody on their team. Dito just walks in, Uber's used, and Mezzo is the sole survivor. So when it comes to bad Ubers, Buck, having 8 of your players die because of it is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's going to be up on the list, not gonna lie. The thing was with that Uber is they kind of just went through big door without much of a plan. I think the plan was basically try and get Murphy to do damage, but that's about it. They didn't really jump up, they didn't try and flank round, or try and clear out choke. They just kind of collapsed a bit. But yeah, they're going to take this into mid now, Gimme opponent, as Mezzo gets the sniper pick, almost gets the tips up as well, actually. But
Sis with the reflect kill, takes the pipe, throws it back in Murphy's face, and actually does get the frag. And they're capping second here, Lil Jessica and Wild Piggy just doing the donkey work of capping that point. Pineapple bleeds out, and they're picking up frags here, Buck. They've got 5 kills, and they're at 90% Uber near enough. They can push in here with this ad. Sis is going to be leading the way, just spamming those flares, being annoying. This Wild Piggy's on the point already. He's so close to being capped. They Uber on there. It's just a destruction zone as that point just draws everyone to it to try and block it, and they just get melted away. And Gimme opponent straight back into this game, coast to coast pretty much, and it's 1-1.
See, that was just Highlander gully wash in a nutshell. That was just momentum 101, just trying to take it in from second all the way in with the Uber ad as well, and they got some frags as well because like they lost some people and River expands and Piney went down. So yeah, well played by them. They're going to be moving into this mid door right now as there's a lot of spam coming into this big door from Tercio, as most of the combo is on this other side from Wiltshire. There's not much going on right now, but they're trying to make some space right now as they're trying to walk in through the enemy banana. Spam's taking out little Jessica over here with the pistol. But yeah, Demo's trying to exchange. It's 4 down right now, actually, on the side of Gimme opponent, as Stuart is actually on the opposite side by their banana, as TF2 goes for a jump, but doesn't actually manage to get much.
Yeah, it's a big play by Noe there. Jumps in, gets the rockets down, and takes down the med and the sniper. So, 2 really big picks in Highlander, and Sprayer has survived. He's on the point. Tercio is still trying to connect. He throws actually a sticky into his face, taking a little bit of damage here. Has to be careful. But Uber advantage now for Wheelchair, and they should be able to push on to second. But let's not forget, last time they tried to go from mid to second with an Uber ad, when we saw this hold from Gimme opponent, they're not holding.
Oh.
They've used Uber through choke onto a sniper who was using mini crits on the cleaner's carbine, who then dies to Tercio, and then they lose their medic to Stinghand. So
it's like they basically just what they did there was they mirrored. Well, I mean they get the point, so I mean it's not gonna matter because they've just lost so many people. But what they did there was they did what Envision did, where they just Ubered through choke, but like this time it was just in reverse. They didn't see where they were, so it was a bit of a mess. They just
Ubered in when there was no one there.
Yeah.
I hope that they could get some mini crit kills with the cleanest carbine. You know, pro tip to those watching in chat: if you want to kill people, there needs to be opponents close to you. Otherwise, you may struggle to get the kills. But yeah, again, I mean, it's little mistakes like that you know, maybe not taking 100% seriously, that could cost them, and maybe take it to a third map. Gimme opponent capping the midpoint for free now. Piney's trying to get some snipes down, but you know, huge Uber advantage for Gimme opponent. They can push on to second here, and if they do it right, they can catch a bunch of players out here. Murphy's way too far forward, he gets cleaned up. Strono is up on the high ground. Terci's going to go for a big jump, trying to get some damage down. Cleanest carbine comes out, isn't going to get a frag though. Tercio and Tuka both go down, and this is all about the post-Uber fight now.
Oh god, just going in with 450, this is not going to look good. Piney tries to pressure them as well. Flank comes in as well from choke, there's 3 people coming in behind, little Jessica just taunts. But yeah, that will be almost a wipe there. So well played by the flank from Wiltshire rather.
Yeah, sometimes in Highlander people are like, oh, we don't want to push up too much, but you know, the 3 of them pushed up all the way through big door, all the way around to get onto the point there, and get right behind the combo. So again, we're just flip-flopping here, huge advantage for Wheelchair now, 100%. They are on mid, and we've seen them struggle. We've seen them struggle going from mid to second as they drop a flank there. Spans and Nubby both going down in quick succession. And the longer they wait for those respawns, the smaller their Uber out becomes. As you know, we see Gimme opponent, they're about 45% right now, and just waiting for them to decide if they want to push or not, which they are. They're going to go in through lower buck, and they're going to try and chase them out.
Yeah, Stinghander was in a good position there, but he just managed to get taken out. Piney going off as well, managed to get little Jessica that 4 down right now on the side of Gimme opponent, as the combo's going to comfortably take this second point, I think. 2G is just sort of sitting in big door, flanked by the entire team, and probably will get picked up. There we go. So, but however, I say that, but the advantage is on the side of Tim Sum. So whether they want to actually recontest this or like try and kill their combo, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, Uber ad for Gimme opponent, but in this situation, it's like, do you push out, do you hold, and the longer we hold, the more likely it is our med's going to get forced or, you know, dropped or something like that. As Terci goes down, while Piggy goes down, that's Demo and Scout down. They have to back up, and this is a really good opportunity for them to send a player in for a force, but no Pineapple and Mezza both go down to Tuga. He's cleaning up those assassin classes, no picks coming in from that side, so we'll see if Nubby decides he's going to go for a bomb. He's just going to hold River. He actually goes for a bit of a jump, just pressuring out the sniper. Doesn't want him to get any space. Don't want him to get any action against his team. But yeah, Uber is used in big door, but it's just counted. Sprayer got his Uber. And now they're just kind of going into lobby Strona and taking the majority of that Uber, trying to get a frag here, moving on to Wild Piggy. But no, Stinghan goes down, and that's about it. But maybe a bit more space for Piney to try and get a frag now.
I mean, they did a small thing there, they didn't try to overextend, they did manage to sort of just live there, but Piney's going to be peeking this sort of main area, is a bit on fire, just managed to get the NG, but yeah, Med's going to be sitting pretty on this sort of left-hand side for last right now, as Ubers will be trying to be built up again. They'll most likely try and get Piney to do like a miracle shot like he is now, but it is actually getting picked up by TF2, as he's definitely on top of that. Justice trying to go under as well, probably taking so much damage trying to go under there without any Uber or any overheal, so we'll get picked up, and they're actually losing quite a lot of people on the side of Wiltshire.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult for them to hold second here. They've got their flank alive, but they're weak. Sprayer isn't healing anyone. He's all the way back at spawn. So they're going to be pushing out here. Nubby is just going to get destroyed. That combination of a pyro and a scout, just not a good thing to fight when you're a soldier, especially when you just got that one weapon. But we do see some time on the point now from Gimme opponent. Slowly going down. They are going to get second. But they haven't got D2, they haven't got Sis. It's going to be difficult for them to hold this, I feel, because it's going to all be down onto Tercio. He has Uber. And I guess his respawns are coming now, so it is going to stabilize a bit as Piney is in there, gets the snipe onto Stinghan. But both spies just trying to go for these plays here, Buck. And 5 CP, it's very difficult because of the way it is. Actually, I'm going to come back to that thought because the Ubers are traded in big door. D2 goes down. And Tercio again is going to get the majority of the Uber, giving him a better one. Little Jessica gets the frag onto Murphy. And Wheelchair are bleeding players here.
Oh, there's a pressure point though, he's going to be sitting here though. Yeah, nice job from Tertio and Piggy there to try and come in. As the rest of the team is going to be trying to run out spans with the medics, who's trying to just build a bit and walk off this, since they're going to be trying to dominate this mid. Oh, Newbie gets tipped up low.
That is a big frag, and they are going to get the cap. That's in fact the only player that they lose in this exchange.
Feels bad, man.
That's definitely a feels bad man. When it's just your medic dies. Anyone else, just throw your body in the way. Uber advantage for Sprays at 70%. He actually takes a ton of damage there.
Oh,
he goes down! Little Jessica just walks in with her shotgun. Bam, bam, bam. Uncle Daning it. And it's only 4 up. It's only 4 up for Wheelchair. What the hell happened there? Gimme opponent didn't even have heals.
I think the problem was they weren't like on high ground or something. Like, I mean, they kind of just all sat there taking all the damage in one place. So then they kind of just got overcommitted and ended up dying. So they have Uber ad for this, and if they just build this Uber, they might be able to take this. I mean, there might be a bit hasty here. Tertiary needs to be careful. Oh, I just get picked off.
Yeah, it's about a 30% ad, which is huge. You know, you want to be careful. You know, if you want to push with that, you pretty much have to push on the dot. As Pineapple there gets a headshot onto D-Toad, so you know, actually demoing your heavy down, that's going to be down for another 10 seconds or so. It's probably ruined your opportunity for a push there. We'll have to see how it goes. As Snuggles actually gets taken down there, so no heavy.
Oh my god!
And you know,
oh no! I was gonna say Timtum lived on like 1 health and managed to get spammed out with a rocket. Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, but yeah.
That's fine. I was laughing at the fact that in order to get that, Nubby whipped the spy, thinking it was his teammate, and gets the boost, like the speed boost off of the enemy spy, leaving the enemy spy with his medic. Like, it was like, thanks for
the irony.
And then it was just Elizal wasn't able to get the revolver shots, unfortunately for him. So yeah, Sprayer did survive, which means he is at 100% now in a lobby. Again, maybe awkward for them to push out here. Murphy's gone down as well. That's no demo. That's a lot of damage potential out the window. You see Piney and Nubby are kind of up on top, and they're probably going to try and pressure the point here. Maybe trying to go for some shots. Great shot there. Takes down the sniper with some help from Nubby. But Terzi is just doing that job of just spamming the doorway. And actually, oh no, Strono! They're just destroying them. Medic goes down. Sprayer still has Uber, but they kind of got a little bit over-eager there, Buck. They should just consolidate it on second. You know, we stopped them capping, great, but they just throw their bodies forward and end up losing a bunch.
Yeah, half the team was in last for some reason, and then half the team was just fighting like 2 or 3 people on seconds as like a distraction. So I mean, shout out to the distraction from Wheelchair, but yeah, they're going to be fighting them in Big Door right now as they do have Uber. They need to be careful how close they are here as Murphy and Justice are waiting around this corner, ready to kill them. I think they're going to try and, yeah, they're going to be holding their med back at their own choke right now, as they're going to be expecting this, as Piney gets a big shot into the skull.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they seem to be playing better when they're playing it slow. You know, when they're rushing these Ubers, it's not going well for them, as Murphy is going to walk up to the opposing side. Big jump from Tuja! He get, oh, nice force there, almost gets the frag. He's going to trade his life quite happily for that force and the damage put onto the combo, which is just going to slow them down here. I say that as Murphy and Clark are just going to walk forward, trying to do as much as they can. D-Toad surely going to go down here to the sticks of Murphy. And high ground attained by Gimme opponent. They are 3 down, but they have a huge Uber advantage there at 95%. I think Tercio and Piggy want to go in with this.
Yeah, some of the players from Wheelchair actually overextended there. They used quite early just to try and defend themselves against Pine. As he still sits there, the med is... Oh no, Tercio's in, okay, never mind. He's actually trying to push them out for a choke. Piney has been sitting, staring at the med this whole time. Managed to get some good dodges in from Timtum. So, yeah.
It's just Call of Duty now, Buck. It's Call of Duty. We've seen the cleaner's carbine, now we see the SMG. Stingin versus Piney. You know, who cares about who gets the most headshots? I want to see SMG kills at the end of this game. As Stingin actually does get a headshot kill on this, so he's going to be on the medic. He's dominating Sprayer, actually. And that's going to be huge. It's a huge advantage for them now. They're at 50%. Sprayer's down for 10 seconds. Nubby, who's been a thorn in Timtum's side this entire game, is down. Clark, Murphy, Strono, so many down. They can just walk into last now.
Yeah, it takes momentum forward. They need to be really quick with this, though, like, and not drop any players. They're on 85%. They just need to go under this with this, honestly. Like, if they go under this, they'll have time. If Timtum doesn't die. We takes a body shot, but he lives. This could be it. They're going to try and walk this in now. Piney's going to try and get a shot to them, possibly under, but they're going to use this. a lot of air blasts coming out, but I mean, if they get caps on, that's the important thing. They're all Ubered, but there's sticks on the point as well. They're quite weak. Dito's going to try and take some heals from Timson right now. Dito just alone on the point fighting Mezzo, fighting the engine. They managed to pull it off. Wow, so yeah, they did what I thought they would do, and it was quite a smart decision in the end. And they managed to get it 2-1.
Sting in there got another frag onto Sprayer during all of that chaos, so he's ending,
of course,
picking up those med picks. The manager, you know, clearly has Sprayer's name on his list to take him down, and we see the demos come in, and 6 minutes to go, roughly. You know, Gimme opponent showing that they have, you know, the potential to take this to a third map now. In this mid-fight, they've won the previous mid-fights quite comfortably. We'll have to see how it goes, but Sting isn't going to get any snipes onto the medic this time. He gets backstabbed. Elazar decides to go for Clark instead. The Spy is getting early picks in this game, but just take a look at Wheelchair. They have control over the middle point. Tuka tries to go in for a shot, but Snuggle's just going to deny that. He's an anti-aircraft gun on the point there. Tercio is going to get gunned down from afar, and yeah, this mid-fight's still going on, Buck, as both teams are kind of still potentially playing. Snuggles is actually going to go down. Sis and Tercio combined with the damage. They've dropped players, and I think Gimme opponent might win this.
Yeah, they did a small thing there, to be fair. They all peaked at the same time. Tercio and Sis kind of trying to time that. Tercio trying to taste them out with the sticks now. Oh, and the Sprayer's stuck in the under, and he kills himself with a kill point. But yeah, they managed to take this mid after that. That was really well played, I think, by Gimme opponent there to just try and take the space. And like the important thing there as well was Piney was actually forced out for most of that. I was actually trying to look for him, but he was pressured out a big door a lot, and I don't think he rotated. So yeah, no sniper presence kind of made them win that.
Yeah, I mean, very, very sniper-friendly map, let's not forget. So if you manage to force out the enemy sniper, it's pretty strong for you. As you see, 50% in the hands of... I'm watching Spans. He's trying to fight Tuka. He's on the high ground. He just can't land the rockets. But Piggy is going to come to his save. A bit of Portuguese on Portuguese action. And it's Piggy who gets the frag at this time. And I'm a bit concerned here. Wheelchair trying to contest this. They don't have Uber. They're nowhere near. They're at 30%. His tank is he's at 100%. They're going in through lower. They could potentially push this into last now. Piney is very weak. He's actually in river, but no one saw him. Could have gone for a hero shot there. So it was used. Oh, Sprayer trying to go for the serve. Tercio's trying to get him. Does take him down with the sticks.
Yeah, just like hovering hovering Tercio there a bit, but yeah, they kind of got like slightly hasty, but I mean, they're still might be able to do this. Ellis is on the point. Murphy's trying to help out as well. To find space. Murphy goes down though. Newbie's only alone on the point. Logistica comes in. Needs to land the shotgun shots. Oh, he's managed to do it though, and that's gonna be a wipe coming out from Gimme opponent. That was very close. So I mean, you know, keeping open Wheelchair on their toes.
Yeah, I would have said if they'd hit that, that would have been, you know, 1 foot into winning this map, as they are actually trying to contest it. Sis is trying to contest second. Gotta be careful. Piney's watching. If he gets a headshot, this is gonna be difficult for them. Spans goes down, so that's less capping potential, but they've already got the second point. Not gonna be worrying too much about that. And it is equal Ubers now, Bucks. This is where we start to see some hero plays, and actually just pure aggression coming out of Wheelchair. They're taking big door. Stinger takes on the medic. No! Sprayer down for 20 seconds. The manager steps up to the plate again. He says, I'm not playing scout anymore, Buck. I'm playing sniper. This is why. And Gimme opponent, 75%. There's only 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, they just need to work around Timson right now. Let's work off the Uber ads. Like, I mean, it's 2-1 right now. Like, you know, like you said, 3 minutes to go. Okay, all they need to do, honestly, is just part the bus, to block off all the chokes, have the combo to sit in the choke, and have the rest of their flank to sit on big door, and they could pretty much guarantee this win.
It's all about stalemating it out and getting your sniper into into a position.
Not sure about the super though. Like, I mean, that didn't really achieve much. Now they're going to be 20% up on the side of Sprayer. Meza manages to pick off Stigam with a cheeky revolver shot as well. Ooh, Timson takes a pipe as well. Murphy's trying to aggro really hard right here as they're losing 4 on the side of Gimme opponent. Needs to be really careful.
Yeah, I mean, this is where things could start to go wrong. So this was a nice reflect kill onto Spans there. But, you know, they have their medic alive, but they are down in the Uber stakes. Sprayer at 80%. About a 45% advantage. We see Tuha coming. Tuha comes in and gets 2!
Oh my days.
He takes down the heavy, he takes down the medic. He's probably won them this game now. It's probably all over. It's going to be so hard for them to break down this hold with no heals for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know why TF2 mains heavy. He should main soldier. Honestly, he's made way more plays on the soldier than he has on heavy, probably at this point. But yeah, he's got trying to contest his mini and big door. He's trying to wall back into mid. 1 minute 50 seconds right now. I mean, this is looking pretty decent on the side of a Gimme opponent.
They're trying to go for the back cap here. Mezzo's actually on the back cap, and Clark's gone all the way kind of to spawn. But, you know, when there's time 7 on mid, there's not much you can do about that. 100% for Tim Tom now. It's going to be so hard for them to get stuff done. They're trying to go for, like, a back cap on mid, and it might actually work here. They've got ×5 on the point. They've actually done it. So they've lost a bunch of players, but if people like Murphy can get all the way to second and, you know, fight half the team, it could get around here.
This is so scrappy right now. It's like a pub on mid right now. Mezzo's just trying to contest with a revolver. But yeah, they're going to try and cap this out before... wait, who's actually... Oh, it's Murphy.
He's still going. He's still... he needed help! Oh, if someone had helped him, they would have been able to roll on to last there. Like, yeah. they had decent positioning, but no assistance coming to him. And 45 seconds now, Buck. I mean, Gullywash, you can cap fast. They've actually got a mid pick. Spans takes down the medic. Piggy's gone down as well. They need to cap, but they need to cap fast.
Tuja's in. Oh, he gets the 2 rockets as well. Tuja again with the med plays consistently. I knew we'd get away with that, to be fair. But yeah, they're gonna cap that since midpoint. They're a lot down on the side of Gimme opponent, but I mean, 20 seconds left. Like they should be able to hold this now, I think.
Yeah, it's just not enough time on the board for them to get, you know, all the way onto second and cap it. I mean, they have positioning there, but 10 seconds, like they need to do it, which they can't. And Piggy just comes in. Oh my god, gets a 2K. Just being like, you know, I'm gonna take down the heavy in the demo by myself. I'm just gonna stop that cap right there. And Gimme opponent, despite being 1 map down and then being a round down on their map choice, have come back and getting rolled. Yeah, on that first round, they've come back 2-1 on their map choice. They've leveled it up at 1 map each. And we're going to be heading to the decider, Buck. That's going to be Borneo.
I think that really for me is true testament as to why you should, like, if you're in a playoff like that, if you lose the 1 map at the start, never give up, because no matter what happens, like, you know, when it comes down to maps like Gullywash or like, I don't know, Bomb Blitz is quite a crazy one as well, like in UGC, where it's like kind of one of those maps where anyone can just win it at any point. It's like stuff happens and then you pull through and you kind of just rally together. Like after they got that draw, after it was 1-1, I mean, they were winning originally, I think, but like after that, they must be feeling a lot more relieved with themselves, and they should hopefully try and take that morale into Borneo, and we'll see what happens. Also, as a side note, I'm just going to say I'm glad I didn't actually call the winner or like predict the winner of Gully, because I was thinking something like this would happen, to be fair.
Yeah, curse of the caster. We didn't even say anything. We're just leaving it to fate, you know.
Neutral.
Yeah, just neutral. We're just on the fence watching the game. That's all we're here to do. But yeah, I mean, I felt like there was opportunities there for Wheelchair to kind of do something, but maybe they were a bit complacent, perhaps. I don't know. I don't think at times they were at their full capacity, perhaps. Or maybe it was just silly mistakes. I don't know. Just taking a look at the logs, and you can see the difference. You know, that change up of the players there. Tuka is top fragging with his heavy Wiethoofd. Wow. 31 kills apiece. Over 10k damage from the soldier. Just edging out Nubby there. Both soldiers had decent damage, but Piggy as well. Wild Piggy on 30 kills as well. So Wiethoofd, who was originally on the sniper, and Piggy originally on heavy, you know, swapping onto classes and dropping 30 kills in this second map. Tercio with a pretty insane amount of damage there, 542 a minute. I mean, he was getting, I had to describe it like a bitch ton of heals. Like, he was just getting all the Ubers just going in and just soloing him. But the thing was, when they did that, Wheelchair had to flash like 3 or 4 people, and Tercio was like, I don't care, like, I know my Uber is going to be 3 seconds longer than yours, and he was just doing a ton of damage, and you know, that was allowing people to get the cleanup. So, you know, getting pretty much 150 DPM more than Murphy, considering Murphy got 700 in that first game. Yeah, that's quite a flip there. So, you know, a big switch up, and you know, Sprayer, you know, one of the best medics who's played, Highlander, you know, in the past, played for great teams like Chess Club and Highlander and stuff like that. Very rare you see him dying more than the enemy medic, but he died 16 times, which is four more than Nidstang or Timtum. And, you know, it's you take a look at the med picks, and it's Tuka getting 4 there, 4 med picks, Stinghan getting 6 med picks, and Tercio also getting 4 med picks. So those guys between them getting 14 out of the 16 deaths from Sprayer. So huge plays. I mean, Pineapple and Nubby trying their best. They got 3 apiece there. Nubby was just a thorn in the side, constantly just after those fights, really late on, just jumping in and getting the med pick. And Pineapple was just getting those snipes in those situations where it was quite clutch. I think he got the drop onto the medic when it mattered. But in the end, yeah, Gimme Opponent. I mean, what was different there? What was different for Gimme Opponent? How can you go from being rolled, not being able to cap first on upward, to winning, you know, a map in that fashion?
I think it's just a change of mindset and just going off like Tercio, just sort of leading the charges. Because what they did there was they kind of just like you said, they Ubered Tercio a lot, and they kind of just allowed him to do the damage, and then they just made space with it as well. And also, like, massive shout out to the flank from Gimme Opponent, because Tuja and Piggy were doing so much work, like 9,000 damage on Piggy as well. I'm actually quite surprised to see on, like, I mean, it's Gully Wash, which, I mean, you could argue isn't surprising, but against how many people he was having to face like Justice on Heavy and Clark on NG, like with the minis and stuff. So just trying to overcome that and still come out with 30 frags. And then Tuja with 31 with like a ton of damage next to Newbie. It's like, you know, that's where their power was really. And then D-Toad as well. The difference between heavy, like the heavy deaths were the same, but the frag difference between Justice and D-Toad is like pretty much just testament to the combo strength coming out on Gully Wash from Gimme Opponent, I think. So they played that really well together, and yeah, came out with the win eventually.
I want to see D-Toad play something different. I'm going to keep switching up. It's a third map, third different class now. Yeah, come on. Go for it. I mean, Spy was like his original main class.
Yeah.
Like, he was originally like the Spy for Wasp, wasn't he? And then he was the Pyro, and then, you know, who knows? He may just leave the server and just be spectator. Like, he's played everything else so far. Yeah, he's going to come and start casting. He's going to take over. You know, he needs to play every role. It'll be interesting to see what happens as we do see Kunu enter the server here.
Spicy.
So yeah, Kunu on Gimme Opponent. Currently playing for Chess Club in ETF12 Premiership. Has played for Envision in Prem. Did win Sniper debut of the season. Which, you know, he joins with Tuha there. You know, so I would guess he's gonna scout.
Yeah, I think Piggy's
gone.
To go,
yeah. So Piggy's gone. Kunu in. Kunu obviously plays in Div 1 at the moment for Faint Gaming as a scout in sixes, so he's very, very capable of scout. Probably more famous in the Highlander scene for his sniping, but, you know, very adept at scout as well. And I think based on how Stingen's been playing, keep him on sniper. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, Borneo back. I mean, how do you feel about Borneo? If someone puts Borneo in front of you and says, "Hey, we're playing it this week," what's your initial reaction? Do you retch or do you smile?
I mean, originally I kind of didn't mind this map, but like it sort of just devolves into this like mess of stalemates on third, and I mean not third. Third and fourth points anyway, where it's just like infinite long holes and 17-minute times and stuff like that, or it can end up just being like a complete roll because you just take the momentum, which I don't think that will happen too much, but I think overall it's like okay, but in terms of pacing, the pacing sometimes puts some players off, I feel. Yeah. So we'll have to see if that kind of, I don't know, maybe it favours the slower pacing from Wheelchair. Maybe we'll have to see. Potentially.
I mean, I would say the fact that we've already played Payload, and you know, Wheelchair looked extremely strong on that already. That, you know, they will come into this as the favourites. You know, they will come into this as probably the team with the slight edge. Definitely Gimme Opponent going to have a little bit more morale. I mean, if we went straight from upward, then they would probably be like, "Oh, great, Payload, you know, let's try and cap first this time." Yeah. But you know, it's just one map to go, separating these teams from the upper bracket final. We'll have to see how it goes. And I agree, it is a long map. It reminds me a little bit of Swiftwater in the fact that it's quite long. It's not as long, but it does have that kind of third and fourth point, which can really stretch out the times. And that third point, if you get a decent hold, can be quite hard to break. And the last hold is just one of those holds where you shouldn't be able to get as much time as you do, but you always do. It's just really hard to break down because can be quite hard to access the sniper. If you set yourselves up properly, it can be quite strong. Don't play it in ETF2 well anymore. We just have Upward and Badwater as the payload maps, but still in UGC, has been around for a long time. I mean, coming into this, now we've all these changes. I mean, we only actually have 8 players. Actually, no, Pineapple's in spec, so we used to have the same roster for Wheelchair. We have the change Piggy out and Kunu in for Gimme opponent. Who do you think, who's going to win, Buck? Come on, just tell me. Who's going to win?
Okay, I'm going to actually just kind of say... Well, I'm going to be biased in saying Wheelchair because I'm on the roster. And also because, they did do well on Upward as well. And I think if they kind of just apply that mentality here, then I think they'll perform pretty well. If they protect their med and their sniper on their defense, it's going to be pretty strong, I feel. And I think their heavy Empire will be able to do that. And meanwhile, Murphy will just probably spam from wherever he needs to, whenever he needs to. So I think they could do right with that. But on the side of Gimme opponent, I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right in saying that the morale change might spark them up a bit. Maybe they'll be a bit more, take a bit more initiative. Maybe Tuji will stay soldier and then get some more mid picks, and maybe Stinghan will go off. I don't know. Should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So for those of you just joining us, this is the upper bracket semi-final of UGC Season 25 Platinum Highlander. This is the European division. The winner of this goes through to the upper bracket final to face either Failer Esports or Kitties Bak and Bandami. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but hey.
Nice.
I tried. The Russian team. The Russian team. Not sure how that game has gone, who's won that. But, getting to that upper bracket final guarantees you a placement medal, guarantees you at least third place. But, we've had 3 maps so far. The first map was Upward, picked by Wheelchair, and they did win it. They rolled it under 6-minute capping time and then held on to first. I mean, they did give up the cap in the last 20 seconds or so, but they essentially held them on first. Then we move on to Gully Wash, which was Gimme opponent's pick, and it did look not great for them. They did win the mid-fights, but in the transition plays, struggled a little bit at the start, with Wheelchair taking a 1-0 lead. However, they did bounce back to take 2 rounds, go 2-1 up, and win it, tying it up at 1 map to 1. And the decider is Borneo, so we're back onto Payload now. The winner of this is just a best of 1. Let's not forget, UGC playoffs operate on only 1/2 in playoff games. So instead of playing a best of 3 on Payload, we'll be playing just a best of 1. And the winner of this goes through to the upper bracket final. The loser drops down to the lower bracket. Wheelchair, some of the faces you may recognize playing for Open Squad in ETF2 Prem, while Envision is the Premiership side that draws many of its players onto the Gimme opponent roster. And they did play each other yesterday. And it was, in fact, Open Squad who won that. But this has been much, much more close. Pineapple has now joined the team. He is ready to snipe. Open Squad, Wheelchair are ready to fight. It's going to be Gimme opponent this time in the blue first. They're going to be attacking first, trying to set as fast a time as they can, while Wheelchair will be defending, and they'll try to beat the time that is set by Gimme opponent.
I'm kind of genuinely surprised to not see a heavy fist fight, because it's best of 1.
No. You see, UGC rules, Buck. UGC rules.
Oh, it's just me being a scrub.
Yeah, no. The team that picks the map, it's the other team that gets to pick the side.
Ah.
So let's say, I pick Upward as my map. You get to pick whether you start on blue or red. And then you pick Gully Wash. I get to pick whether I'm blue or red. Which kind of doesn't make sense on Koth or 5CP, but it can make a hell of a difference on a Payload map. And it seems that, I guess, as this was technically the decider picked by Wheelchair, it is going to be Gimme opponent deciding to attack first. And maybe it's because they attacked second on the previous map. they just want to switch it up and see how they go. But you are going live, and who's your eyes going to be on, Buck? Who are you going to be watching?
Well, at the moment, I'm watching Clark Sentry because it's quite a protected place, I suppose. I mean, they might expect these initial suicides to come out. Interesting seeing Kunu go straight over here for a bit of a side play rather than getting on the cart. But yeah, Clark sort of sitting his Sentry over here with Piney staring at this one sight line, ready to get a pick. Tertia just go down though. Mezzo managing to get the stab onto the demo, so that'll probably delay any sort of suicides that they're bringing in here.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, it's a very passive Sentry from Clark, I agree. Normally you see it a bit further forward, but some teams like to have them directly on the point. And, you know, Stinghand not taking the far side, he's taking this near side closer to where the defensive side is. Tersi trying to get some spam over, just get some damage, and they are pushing this cart quite forward, and they actually get the force! They actually get the force as Sprayer uses the Uber. They do drop Sis out of this Uber. They have a much better Uber here, Gimme opponent. They're trying to get some damage down, but they can't. They don't have the players. They do drop a few players here, 3 down and 2 down either side. Mezzo gets backstabbed by Detoed. It's just going to get a little bit scrappy here as Mezzo is trying to takes the attention away from anyone else as Pineapple is the one who gets the frag. And it does look like Wheelchair solidified a little bit there, but that was a very odd Uber exchange. He got quite aggressive there.
Yeah, in the last few seconds of that fight as well, Jessica was actually fighting Piney, and for some reason Piney decided to take that exchange and ended up losing his life for it. Timtum going quite low on his tracks again. Demo is doing a lot of damage here onto the heavy, and Splash coming onto Timtum as he's trying to heal his scout onto the cart. Sentry is kind of sitting pretty on this point right now as Clark's trying to wrangle as much as he can, and yeah, it's going to be sort of even Ubers, and Timtum walks up here in a second.
Yeah, when you have a sniper advantage on this map, there's so much. Look at Stinghand, look where he stood. He has such a good sightline on everyone. He needs to land some shots, and it's going to be huge advantage for his team. Both teams do have Uber, and Murphy, there you go, gets domed by Stinghand. That's going to be really difficult for them. Snuggles is very weak. It's going to be difficult for him to back out. You look at Spread, they're going to use it onto Snuggles. I'm not sure if this is a good idea or not. It could be amazing. Counter Uber comes in onto Sis, he's actually puffing them away, when in reality, I'd just be chasing, just get the damage down onto that heavy. He can't escape from this situation, but no, Piney's back up, and he does get the shot onto the Pyro. And we do see kind of this second hold being set up here by Wheelchair.
Oh,
and
this could be bad, actually, because Clark is still in here, like, well, they've capped the cart now, but, I mean, Clark will, yeah, like, Clark's looking to pull it back probably, so that's not going to be a problem. But yeah, I mean, their Uber there was kind of weird. Like, Timtum kind of just baited his Pyro and his demo, like, deciding which side he wanted to go with the Uber, but I don't think it'll be much of a threat now, because, well, Piney's in the window, but let's see if they walk in.
yeah, I mean, there's actually about a 20% Uber difference here. Sprayer, just about 80%, about 65%. For Timtum, because, you know, using that Uber later, you do get a better Uber, but it does mean that you're going to be slightly behind, and the Uber stakes comes up later on. Stinghand getting a shot there onto Strono, so no Pyro for the defensive team. That's going to give them a lot of space and the ability to maybe push in deep here. You can see where Wheelchair are. They're holding in this house on the barn area, and Little Jessica just kind of in this drop down area. Backs up from Elizal, takes down Pineapple. And Uber does come in aggressively. Lil Jessica has got that Frontier Justice Chris just hiding in the drop down, just waiting for opportunity to use them. Snuggles is going to chase down. No! You got crits onto an Ubered Heavy, but they've lost a lot of players here, Buck. And again, it's just getting very scrappy and seems to be just benefiting Gimme opponent in the long run.
Yeah, it's just going really low there, just going to sandwich. But yeah, I mean, Justice doing a good job of just playing heavy in this sort of Jenkins area with his men right now. It's taking 450 to stop anything coming into the houses. Clark and Newbie going to be sitting on this top balcony area quite comfortably as well. So nothing too sort of overcommitted right here from this defense. Just how they should be playing it. Just playing it smart, waiting for Gimme opponent to make mistakes, and trying to make some space right now onto tracks as the Tertia takes a big bite, but yeah, it's taking a lot of damage from Murphy right now.
Small ad here for Timtum. He's at 85, he's about 15% ad, and there is no Piney to kind of dome him and get that drop, so they should just go in, but Murphy just goes in and just destroys a bunch of people, including the medic. Just the damage coming out. The sentry does go down to her. They're running the direct hit, gets the sentry down, but by the time they get into position to even think about pushing, it's going to be rebuilt as Piney on the respawn gets a couple of kills, 2 and Detoed both going down, and this is looking better now.
Wait, they used?
For oh, did they?
Apparently. I just saw the percentage going down, I was like, what the hell just happened? So I must have missed that. Poor casting. Shake him head.
Maybe Spray must have got forced there or something.
Oh my god!
Oh, Nubby.
Clark just wrangles the mid and Newbie gets him with a direct rocket, so yeah, no mid on the side of the offense right now. As Sprayer's going to be sitting on 40% pretty comfortable. And yeah, just going to be sitting here just defending this left side area.
This hold is, it can be very, very difficult to break down when you've got your combo in the barn area and your flank helping protect the sentry far back. You know, the sniper sideline is so long that you really need someone to get a pick, or you need your sniper to get a pick, something like that. They have to be careful, they're quite aggressive. They're only at about 30% Uber, and they're dropping players, and you know, Sprayer's going to have 100% charge soon. They just actually don't even need it. Oh, and Murphy with the pipes just flings them over, med down again, and this is starting to look a bit painful for Gimme opponent now.
Yeah, Murphy's doing so much work from this like sort of slope area, just managing to hit these pipes again, like with a random pipe onto Tertia. Gonna pick him off. They need to like, they're not really dealing with this Clark sentry, I feel, and like anytime they try and go into the tracks or into the grass area next to the slope, they're just sort of like getting spammed by Murphy. So I mean, I don't know. I'd probably suggest UG go direct hit to try and deal with this. I mean, it's kind of becoming a problem.
He gets juggled into the air and just gets wrangled as he's like hitting the skybox. Uber is actually used by Sprayer. He's trying to get his players to get aggressive with it, leading spans forward. They take down the teleporter, but they don't really get anything else. And that does mean, you know, Uber advantage for Gimme opponent now. They're at about 65%. Snuggles stood up, but this aggressive conch from Nubby. He does actually, Tertia gets panned. That looked panful. And
wow.
Snuggles is down. And Mezzo gets caught out there by Tuka, but you know, are these going to be really viable picks for them to push here? It's all going to be about how this Uber plays out.
Sorry, I've got like PTSD from that pan pun now. Sorry, CeeJaey. No one will ever forgive me for that.
Did you see Tertia? I mean, Tertia's gone down here. Take a look at the Ubers, Buck. 75% for Sprayer now. So, despite using the Uber a while ago, they're now gonna catch up again because they're dropping players. And they may think, oh, we've got a bit of an Uber advantage here, but it's not. It's going to be equal. Piney is down. The Uber's going to be used onto tracks. This is not going to be good if they get wrapped around here. Just air blasting away. Strono goes down, but going to struggle to get anything else as Murphy and Spans combined pick up a bunch of players here. Only 4 alive. Can Timtum get out with his life? I don't think that's going to happen when you've got a fully revved up 450 HP bunch of beef with a minigun just gunning you down. Snuggles gets the frag, but again, this second hold can be extremely hard to break down, and it's going to be 60 seconds here, but we've got 1 minute on the round timer. So again, we're getting off to that cutoff point. If Gimme opponent don't cap a second in the next minute, then all Wheelchair will need to do is cap 2 points to win this map.
They don't really seem to have an answer for anything that Wheelchair is throwing at them right now in this defense. I mean, yeah, like Murphy again, just spamming freely into this area, and Piney getting some snipes. I feel like they kind of need to just like try and have it Elizal get like a pick, or Sting can get a pick, but they don't really seem to be getting any space to do that. Like Elizal's been constantly spy checked by Newbie like right now as well. So yeah, Clark just free to wrangle as much as he wants to.
Yeah, again, we talked about this on Payload, didn't we? Where, you know, as an engineer, Clark was just not pressured on the defense. You say, well, you take a look at Nubby, just protect him. He's spy checking. Like, he literally has a soldier spy checking for him. And we do see the Uber comes in here from both teams. This trade is actually going to be a better one for Gimme opponent. They're actually getting players for it. This is a good opportunity for them. But Tersi goes down. So many solo Ubers onto that man earlier on, and this time, you know, just not having the benefit of those heals. Wheelchair are going to hold onto that second point. So, Gimme opponent backs to the walls here. Not out of it just yet. Not out of it just yet. We still have the second phase of this map to go. But all Wheelchair need to do is capture the second point. They can capture the first point. If they capture the first point in faster than 2:29, then they win the map. Or all they need to do is capture the second point before the round timer expires, and they will win Borneo. And I have to say, it's looking likely. They just seem to be more well adjusted to playing Payload at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just like I said before about the mentality of it, and their combo just manages to stay alive, and you know, Clark knows exactly what he's doing. He's got his sentry set up, and his dispenser and his telly set up, and like the flanks helping him out enough, and that all kind of just combines, and Gimme opponent just can't seem to get through anything that they set up, and also like their Ubers again weren't really that effective, so. It just kind of culminates into a bit of a mess.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you need to have those clinical pushes. You need it to really just be really decisive. You know, somebody in the comms yelling, right? Focus NG, focus medic. You know, do this, move here. Maybe that's just what's missing from the Gimme opponent calls on their pushing, because you know they have the DM capability. We saw that on Gullywash. They have that potential. It's just you need something a little bit better on payload. As the crits does come in from Murphy, he's going to take down Tercia. There's Demo down. It takes down D-Toad as well, so no Uber Force coming out, but Demo and Heavy both dead. Murphy does get backstabbed by Elizal, but make that, wow, 5 players down here for Gimme opponent. They have to use this Uber to hold on. Sentry gets sapped and backstabbed. Stinghan goes down as well. No, sorry, Little Jessica survived there, but the sentry has gone down. Uber is used by Timton. Tercio on the respawn, comes in. Can he get some damage? He needs to get the medic. He needs to get a bunch of players in. He launches in deep. Is he going to get Sprayer? Can he get a consolatory frag? No, he can't. Sprayer survives. Tercio down. And they have to hold on for 1 minute 30 here, Buck. Otherwise, you know, Wheelchair just going to win it straight away.
He'll be getting a whip as well, going in pretty quickly, trying to get some spam down onto them. Justice is going to hold M1 with his minigun, trying to peek in here, but just gets sniped by Stingham from a big headshot as they're trying to push his car in as much as possible. And the Uber is about to come out from Sprayer. I can imagine Wiethoofd is just going to reload, trying to get some health. And Kritz comes in, going to the right side, manages to pick off Timtum as well. And Tercio will. Okay, no, he just go down eventually. So yeah, 3 up right now on the side of Gimme opponent.
Elizal with a cheeky stab there right at the end there. Actually, Tuga picking up a couple, picks up Piney and Nubby, but it's not going to be enough. That is in fact GG. Wheelchair capping that first point faster than their opponents did, meaning they take the 2 best of 1 payload maps, and they're going to take it 2 maps to 1. So the first map we've seen dropped by teams so far in the playoffs. We've seen kind of solid 2-0s so far, but in this semi-final, Gimme opponent pushing them all the way, and kind of a weird game, I feel, Buck. I mean, it just seemed that Wheelchair were just so strong on payload that Gimme opponent never really seemed in it, but on Gullywash it was back and forth, and it just feels that, who knows, maybe if there was a Koth map in there, who knows what would have happened. You know, it could have gone either way, but it seems on payload Wheelchair just seemed too superior.
Yeah, I think it was sort of a mix of like coordination and cohesion and like the Ubers, like I was saying before. There's not really coming out so much effect, and they didn't really seem to like focus the sentry that much either. Like a lot of teams, they kind of neglect killing the sentry sometimes, and they just rather go for the frags. But like if you still got the energy, it's just wrangling onto the car and like free to just spam as much as you want. Like Clark was just doing that on second and onto the grass area, and it kind of just adds damage over time, and it's not nice to deal with. But yeah, I mean, congratulations on Wheelchair winning that. So good to see them move up a bit, and yeah, we'll have to see if any changes to the roster happen or anything sort of switches up from Gimme opponent in the future when they come back into this.
Yeah, I mean, rosters are locked when it comes to UGC during the playoffs, but there are plenty of spots on the roster, you know, like over 20 positions. So maybe if Gimme opponent had some more people, because you know apparently they had a few mercs tonight. Not sure who would normally be playing if they had choice of whoever they wanted, but that was Wheelchair's kind of main lineup. That is their ETF12 main roster. Just quickly looking at the logs here, Murphy back on top of the scoreboard, 19 for 6, getting just under 600 DPM. Definitely boosted a bit there by those crits on that attacking phase, and then it's just a wash of blue there. Got Pineapple with 17, Snuggles with 13, Mezzo 12, and Nubby with 11, all getting a decent amount of frags. Big stats there you were talking about. Clark just doing his wrangling, Buck. Clark didn't die during that game, so he was able to just sit back. Oh boy,
he'll be bragging about that forever.
Yeah, and then also Sprayer not dying either. So if there's just no pressure on the NG or the medic, like I said on payload, very, very difficult to break down a hold no matter what map you're playing. So well played by Wheelchair. They'll be moving through to the upper bracket final. And Gimme opponent will be knocked down to the lower bracket. We'll see if they can make their way back up to the grand final later on. But they'll be, Wheelchair will be playing either Fela or Kitty, depending on who won that other semi-final. They'll be playing the upper bracket final next Monday, I believe. So that's all we have time for tonight. There'll be more on KritzKast as we have more Nations Cup games. The 6v6 Nations Cup in ETF2. Plenty of games coming there as we enter the playoff stage, the knockout stage, to see which country is the best at 6v6. We also have more ETF2 Highlander action as the Premiership season continues. There'll be more games throughout the week. Of course, UGC will be back on Monday. If you fancy supporting KritzKast, don't forget to check out the Patreon and other ways that you can support. Go on Twitter, go on Discord, so you can find out when we go live. I do believe we have UGC on Thursday as well. So this week is going to be jam-packed with TF2. Don't forget to come back to check us out. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Hi, old beaver! Away!